Hi, great to see you again on this week's ITPM Flash. It's Shek. It's Sunday, the 25th of May. So I thought I'd start with a brief little summary of how I see the market at the moment. Tariffs remain very much a moving target, but the market trades every headline as if we're genuinely getting closer to the ultimate truth, which we're not. The macro data is benign, and the tariff effect is not in the numbers, nor will it be for a month or two. Bond market worries, genuine, are there for all to see, and it concerns the market for a few hours, half a day, and is then shrugged off. The pain trade is most certainly up. My personal view is that the risk of stagflation is being really underpriced in the market, but it's all about timing, and at the moment, the market just doesn't care. Now this week, I'm going to show you a long and a short idea in mid-cap software. Nice and simple, short and sweet. Let us begin. So the long idea is Xometry XMTR. It's a $1.7 billion company, technically an industrial, but for all intents and purposes, a tech company, because what they do is operate a leading AI-powered digital marketplace for on-demand custom manufacturing. So they're connecting businesses that need custom parts with a global network of vetted manufacturing suppliers. So how does it work? You want to submit or upload a computer-aided design, a CAD design, you'll get near instantaneous quoting. Now, this is typically quite a slow and sticky market because it's custom. But of course, due to the search engine, and of course, they're really growing the number of suppliers of manufacturing processes. This is really driving efficiencies, pricing, and time. The sort of services provided are things like 3D printing, CNC machining, injection molding, sheet metal fabrication, all of those sort of things. So who really uses it? Well, product designers and engineers for prototypes, custom parts, startups with lower production, lower volume production, hopefully scaling up eventually. And this company also provides software that helps manage products and scalability, and also large enterprises in the aerospace, medical, electronics, and industrial sectors for quick-term prototypes, bridge production before mass production, and even for large operations who are having periods of excess demand and their typical supply chains are maxed out. So the proposition's really straightforward. Now, the interesting thing is all about scalability. And if you look at the quants, you'll see that although revenue growth is 19% and sort of slightly lower in the next 2 years, 18 and 16, and I must say, I wouldn't buy this if I thought those numbers were correct. I'm clearly buying it because I think there'll be big upgrades coming over the next year or two. When we look at the earnings, however, we see enormous earnings growth, over 100% 2026 and a further 65% for 2027. Now, their active buyers have grown by 22% this year to over 70,000, and their suppliers are up to about 4,400, growing at about 28%. And as when you're setting up these sort of businesses, you're spending a lot, the cost of acquisition, vetting suppliers, trying to get people onto your marketplace. The costs are relatively high. Now it's moving under its own momentum. It's growing at 16%, as I said, revenue. The overall market for custom manufacturing is only growing 4%. So they're gaining market share. This is allowing them to cut costs. And of course, the pricing's really good. This is how they get paid, by the way. They're obviously just taking a spread on the value of transactions, and the operational leverage is really coming through. So that's what it does. We know where it's at. We know the forward quant. So far, so good. By the way, it's trading on 2.5 times. But this is not a valuation trade or a chart trade. The real reason for this trade is the sheer size of the total addressable market. Custom manufacturing is about $1 trillion. Now not all of that's going to move on to a digital marketplace, really big lumpy stuff. But only 5% of the market is digital on platforms like this. So the $1 trillion market, 50 billion finds its way onto marketplaces like Xometry, and Xometry has 2.5%. Now, my view for this position is that we will get a migration from offline to online. So that $50 billion online market, I think, is going to double quite easily. Xometry is growing at much faster than the overall market. So all I think it needs to do is continue to execute. And of course, the numbers can change very quickly. This is the sort of stock that could double in a year and treble in 3 years. I think, and remember, it's only a $1.7 billion company. Now, of course, however good your tech is, there needs to be a need for it. And of course, with tariffs and supply chains, this is the right thing at the right time. Interestingly enough, though, the US business used to be 98% of its revenue, and they were supplied by US suppliers. So this isn't onshoring. This is just the efficiencies of getting all the right suppliers in touch with all the right buyers. Obviously, if onshoring happens, then that will be an added catalyst. Secondly, 2020, they had 98% of their revenue US based. Now it's 82. The Asian and rest of world business is growing. It's now up to 80%, and they've recently signed their first 7-figure deal in the APAC region. So I think there are a lot of ways that this stock can really continue to grow, and the scalability is enormous, the total addressable is enormous, and of course there's a real need for it. Structuring is a bit more tricky, only because we have June, July, and October options. Ideally, with earnings on August the 7th, this would be a classic calendar. Buy the August out of the money, try and collect the June and July credits, and get into a vertical for earnings. However, the risk of buying now is if we have any market weakness, we're losing some money before we get into the money trade, which is being long August. Because I'm so bullish on the stock, and I'm using a $50 price target, the stock's trading at 33.5, so it's like a 50% move. Going longer dated and out of the money makes sense. So I'm looking at the October 38.50. And if I bought the 38s, that'd be about $4.50. If I sell the October 50s, we'll get a $1.90 credit. So for our typical $5,000 net spend, we'd have 19 spreads. And if the stock's at 50 by October, you'll get $12 per spread. And your P&L will be about just under 18 grand, at 362%. Right, let's move on to the short victim, Dropbox DBX, $8 billion company, trading just under 29. What does it do? File, storage, and backup. What's the business model? Subscription, average recurring revenue. Any levers that they can improve on? Well, they've AI'd it. It's called AI Dash, but that's hardly groundbreaking. They're behind the curve, competitive disadvantage, and they're in a highly saturated, highly competitive market. Who uses it? Individuals, businesses, and teams. But they are losing customers. So they've gone from 35% revenue growth in 2016, steadily falling almost 5 points a year. Last year was flat. This year's down 2%, negative for 2026. Revenues going down. This is a classic ex-growth company in a mature, saturated market, bleeding customers. Now, their earnings numbers are still positive single digits, so fair play to the management. They're managing a declining business as well as they can, firing people, stripping out costs, getting a little bit of operational leverage, but you can't cut your way to growth or a better future, in my opinion, with what they're offering. It really is as simple as that. Now, this could be the shortest pitch ever. So when you think about both of them, it's really just about business model. One's got a product that's growing and in need with a huge addressable market and huge operational leverage. One's got no competitive advantage in a saturated market, competing with much better companies, and they're losing customers. So when they report earnings, what's the real catalyst for the trade? I want them to lose another customer. Basically, there's no need, in my opinion, why anyone would want to or feel the need to belong a company like that. Interestingly enough, with the structuring, the option chain is exactly the same as Xometry, only June, July, and October. And I'm going for a long-dated, out-of-the-money October vertical put spread. So I'm looking at the October 25, so only 88 cents. Obviously, this is, a long way below the market. The recent lows were down around the 22 level. I picked 22 as my short strike, my price target. You can sell those for 38 cents. So you can buy 100 spreads for your $5,000. And if the stock's at 22 in October, you're going to make around 25 grand, a 500% return. And there you have it. One long, one short. Simple business models, aggressive price targets. See you next time on the ITPM Flash. Bye-bye.